Good morning, Isolationville. I'm Alex Bartkowiak. I'm a doctor of chiropractic and the clinical director here at Health HQ down in sunny Southsea. I want to talk to you this morning about a couple of the big questions that we've been getting through from patients whilst we're not seeing patients face to face during this period of isolation. I don't want to give a big long spiel. I want to break these questions down into a few short, succinct videos and be as helpful as possible. The three big main questions that we've been getting are: one, I'm in pain already now. What can I do to help myself? Two, I'm sitting an awful lot more at the moment. I'm working from home. I don't have my proper workstation. I'm on the sofa an awful lot more as well. What can I do to be an expert in sitting down? And the third question is, what's the best way to keep mobile and stop myself from seizing up whilst I'm isolated at the moment? Like I said, I want to break these down into a few short, easy to digest videos that people can refer back to help themselves as much as possible whilst we're all isolating. Today, number one, I'm getting pains. What can I do about it? What you need to do largely depends on one main factor, and that is what stage it's at. For brevity, I'm going to oversimplify this quite a lot. There is three different phases that we go through, typically. There is a deteriorating phase, two different types of the painful phase, and then we have the getting better, recovery, healing phase. The deteriorating phase is where you tend to feel it come and go. It's not necessarily there the whole time. It niggles, but generally you can live with it. This stage is where you are eating through your body's adaptive capacity, its ability to react, adapt, and compensate to all the demands that you're putting on it day to day. Your body will always adapt. It never really runs out of adaptive capacity, but it can get to a point where it's had to adapt so much or for so long that the stresses of doing so become great enough that you begin to get more and more symptoms. These symptoms are your body's way of talking to you and trying to tell you that what you are doing is demanding. This really is where you need to listen and react, because if you ignore someone when they are talking to you, then they will tend to start shouting at you, and your body kind of does the same thing. And that's what the next section is, the painful phase. Your body has now unfortunately got to the point where it can't cope with all those stresses and strains and demands that you're putting on it day to day, and is now shouting at you. It doesn't want to have to try and change and adapt and compensate anymore, so now it's going to try and make you do that compensation and changing instead. This painful phase is your body's way of protecting itself, and it's where you get the most pain. What kind of pain you experience, again, this is an oversimplification. What kind of pain you experience will depend on, and actually be quite a good indicator of, whether you are in an acute inflammatory state or more of a chronic inflammatory state. Acute tends to be felt as more of a sharp shooting, stabbing kind of pains typically. It can be not so bad if you find that certain comfortable position, but tends to be as soon as you move, then bam, that's where you're going to feel a lot of the pain. Chronic tends to be more of a constant, dull, nagging ache. Now, you can get a fun mix of the two, where you get this constant, dull, nagging ache, but with sharper twinges occasionally as well on certain movements. Whichever it is, you need to do the same thing. Two things. One, bring the inflammation that's there down, and stop doing the things that are generating that inflammation in the first place. The best thing you can do to bring the inflammation down is ice. Now, I know that a lot of people out there are going to be going, oh, I don't like the ice pack. I really like my hot pack. Trust me, I've seen this so many times that I can guarantee you that it's the right thing to do. There are definitely rules on how to use the ice pack properly and correctly, and I will go into full details on that in another post, but for now, trust me. The other thing you need to do is stop doing all the things that are making it bad in the first place. This is definitely easier said than done, and most of the time people don't know what it is that they're doing that's causing it. Most of the time it's actually something that's part of your normal day-to-day and something you've been doing for a long time, very commonly posture. This This is something that can be best discussed face-to-face with your chiropractor, but also check out my post on sitting comfortably. Once the inflammation levels have been kept suitably low for long enough, then your body will shift from this inflamed, painful protection phase to the proliferative healing phase. And this is where your body starts to heal and repair again. Pain levels start to decrease and tend to feel it more as a low-level background ache. Now, healing isn't a given. Healing is like trying to grow a plant from a seed. Just because you stick a seed in a pot of dirt doesn't mean you're going to get a plant out of it by the end of it. There are a lot of other environmental factors that need to go along with it to make sure that that plant grows as well as it should do. And it's the same thing with healing in your body. If you don't have all those pieces in place, it's not going to work, or certainly not as well as it should do. The main things that you need to keep in place are, 1, keeping those inflammation levels down and in check, and 2, keeping things mobile enough that it doesn't seize up, but without overworking or re-irritating the area and making it worse again. I'm going to put some more specifics on this in my Move It or Lose It post, so please try and check that out as well. In this phase, remember, it's getting better, which is great. You don't need to mollycoddle it, but you do need to be sensitive to it. So that's it. Some tips on what to keep in mind and what to do first when things get painful. Also, please remember, when this happens, you are not alone. We are a resource. Please use us. We're not seeing patients face to face at the moment, but anything you need from us, please give us a call, ping us an email, get in contact, and we will do everything we can to make sure that in the short term we are communicating and making sure that you're doing everything you need to do to help start it to calm down and get better till we can get to see you face to face again. Anything you need, give us a call. Otherwise, in the meantime, stay safe, stay home, stay well, and we'll see you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.